Kent Jensen with KentCoach.com. So we've discussed personal development as the first step of leadership development. So if we're building a metaphorical leadership house, personal development is the foundation. Now I've gone over different things that you can do to create your ideal self, to pour that foundation and to make sure it's solid. Now the next step after this foundation is in place, let's look at how to become a better leader. Dr. Stephen J. Stein, in his book, The EQ Leader, goes over what he calls 4 pillars of leadership. Now, this is based loosely on the MLQ, or the multi-level questionnaire, which is another form of leadership assessment. Now, Dr. Stein defines the 4 pillars of leadership as authenticity, or idealized influence, coaching, or individualized consideration, insight, or inspirational motivation, and innovation, which is intellectual stimulation. Now let's go over the first one, authenticity. What does it mean to be an authentic leader? Now, an authentic leader commands esteem and confidence, inspires fair moral behavior. Now let's take a look at Wells Fargo, what happened a little while back. They ran into some issues with some fraudulent accounts. The root cause is a leadership issue. Leaders did not inspire fair and moral behavior. They did not command esteem and confidence, and they did not act as role models. So that being said, they had an issue, and that issue bit them in the butt. As you can see, being immoral in business can cost you a lot of money. Now, the next pillar, coaching. Now, a great leader operates as a coach, and a great coach operates as a mentor. What that means is you're willing to use compassion to help somebody create their ideal self and create a plan to achieve that ideal self. They also support psychological needs. They understand those needs using empathy, using cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. And then they're able to respond to the inquiries of their direct reports in a way that fulfills those needs and helps them. Now, the next step, which is insight, what that does is a leader who has great insight understands the mission, the values, and goals of the company, and they communicate those in a way that suppliers, customers, everybody who they come into contact with can see them and actually understand them. And this is very important because if you're trying to create alignment in your organization, your leaders have to be able to communicate what those core values are, what is the strategy, and what is the mission of your company. If your leaders do not communicate that in a form that others can understand, alignment, it goes out the window. People start doing things for the wrong reasons, and then your company starts going astray. Now, the last one is important, innovation. Now, a leader who has innovation values knowledge. They also value taking risks, and they also value people on their teams who are willing to use creative solutions to find a path of resolution for a problem. Now, this is very important because in business, rigidity is the death of any business. If you cannot innovate and learn to grow, your business will eventually die. You have a shelf life. You have to be able to constantly take a look at the horizon that's ever so changing and be willing to adapt and be willing to change. The only way you can do that is if you have people underneath you who aren't scared to take chances, who can go ahead and find the next path, and then you have to have a leader who can recognize that and communicate that to the people who make the decisions, who can execute that company-wide. Now, these are all important attributes and traits that as a leader you should be looking to develop. Now, what I recommend is look at the things you do well already. Let's start there. Let's start building on your strengths, and then from there we can make the weakness gap between your strengths and your weakness less. We can focus on how to overcome things. We can build the plan, but before we can do that, we need to know what you do well. We have to build confidence, and we have to grow like that. If you have any questions regarding the 4 pillars of leadership, any questions regarding the book I got this from, feel free to reach out. KJ at KentCoach, KentCoach.com, or hit a comment, whatever form of communication you would like. Feel free. Here for you. And always remember, spread love, inspire hope, and teach compassion. And when I say teach compassion, teach yourself compassion, and then you can teach others compassion. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you.